I'm Diana McCullum.
Hey, I'm Andrew Rivenme.
And this is Fan versus Fan for The Flash. Race ya.
Flash race. Flash race. Oh, neck and neck. So on tonight's episode of The Flash, Alchemy has given powers to Clive Yorkin, who is now seeking revenge on all of the police from Flashpoint that imprisoned him. Iris is suffering the death touch, and it's now a race against the clock. Wally's trying to get faster with every passing minute, and also, Grodd's coming soon. Let's talk about tonight's episode. Let's get into the pros. All right, so pros for tonight's episode. Diana, what did you like?
I hate to pin on Grodd, but the last 5 seconds were pretty exciting.
I'm not gonna say that you're wrong. I'm gonna say that I
need a bigger pro.
Yeah, we can't put the teaser for next week's episode. Mm-hmm. It is a pro, but it shouldn't be like the pro.
I mean, it's what I'm most excited about. But,
yeah.
I mean, it is a teaser. Fair enough.
And it's not what you're most excited about. You're most excited about Music Meister. But it was exciting that we got the Grodd teaser. It was exciting.
And Jesse.
Sure, yeah.
But that's exciting for next week.
Yes.
But for this week, I think Joe just crushed it. But he always does. But I feel like Joe hasn't gotten to crush it for a while.
Uh-huh.
So it was just nice to see him crushing it. Just like...
Yeah, it was a really good performance. It was just a really good episode for him as well.
I think I don't always forget, but I think he hasn't done a lot this season, and I've forgotten how great it is when he interacts. When he gives Barry a hard time in a loving, fatherly way. When he's worried about Iris, he's like, you know how much I love my baby girl. I can't act like Jesse L. Martin can. Right. Oh my God. He destroys everything.
You certainly can't, but...
No, we all know this.
Bless you for trying.
Thank you. But no, I love being reminded about how good an actor Jesse L. Martin is.
And he gives a hell of a performance, and the writing is there for his character in this episode as well. It's a really strong performance for him, and we haven't seen much of him lately because of the fact that they have slowly been phasing more and more away from the police department. Yeah. It's still a set that they've built, and they're not going to waste that kind of set design, so they're going to casually drop in there once in a while. But for the most part, we're moving away from that. We even got Julian in Star Labs now to get away from that.
Yeah,
Barry's got his own apartment.
We were going there because of Julian for a while, and even now they're just like, yeah, you just
they've never brought up the
metahuman
police force ever since.
Is that task force still around?
It should be. But they've definitely tried to move away from the police department, which is a real shame because it means that, as you just mentioned, that Joe has been playing less and less of a role over the past little while. So this was a really good kind of reintroduction to his character from a familial point to be like, sure, we're not getting the same level of police, detective, and forensics work as this show did in its first 2 seasons, but remember, this character is a family man, and he is a hell of an actor, and he's going to get these moments to shine where he gets to weep and explain to you why he's concerned about Iris.
He doesn't get to weep. He gets to hold back his tears, which is even more powerful.
Yeah.
More powerful. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the best dad, since we have lost our other best dad.
And it's a hell of a performance, too, because none of the motivations are surprising. At no point during that scene is there a turn. Is it oh, what? Joe cares about his daughter.
He was betrayed?
Yeah, we expected Joe to care about his daughter, but the fact that he was able to elevate a scene with a very predictive reaction says a lot about his performance in this
always
episode.
Does. Yeah, I always love Joe. So what about you? What's your pro for this episode?
I'm going to stick with you for Joe on this one. I really enjoy the relationship that Wally and Barry are building, and I think it's getting stronger with every passing episode. They're getting a more playful and well-defined character for who Wally is.
They are, and it's something I've really missed from Wally kind of ever since he's been introduced.
Okay.
He's finally getting good at banter and backtalk and just I guess sassy's not the word I want, but just being
playful.
A smart aleck. Just being a smart aleck.
Playful and familiar
Wally
and a smart aleck. Yeah, I feel like we're at a point now with Wally's character where if we went back to Wally's first episode, to the introduction of his character, that character is almost unrecognizable now. The idea of the bad boy drag racer is who he was introduced as. Mm-hmm. And now he's the playful, intelligent, goof around, fun guy, likes flirting, but isn't a bad boy, isn't acting on it. It is just such a complete shift of character, but I'm glad they did it. This character makes so much more sense in this universe, interacts off everyone so much better, feels like he belongs there now.
They do. They've done a good job of really progressing him throughout 2 seasons. 2 seasons? Is that when he came?
3. All right, well, yeah, 2 for him. Yeah,
2 for him. I mean, I still think he could have been more of a smart aleck when he first came, even as a bad boy. I think finally getting some fun lines is great for Wally, and And also just like his different strategies than Barry. Just like instead of just standing there and trying to phase through a wall, he's like, I'm gonna run right at it.
Right.
I'm like, that's so Wally.
Right.
So yeah, I agree. I'm enjoying Wally as well.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree with you that like it's too bad it wasn't there to begin with, but I just got to take the good as it comes, and I'm glad that it's there now.
I'm glad that it's making current episodes more enjoyable.
Yeah, and then for some things that are going on in the chat as well, like Senior Titan saying one pro is the whole train phasing thing.
He did phase the train. I mean, he could have just phased the wreckage,
right?
But he decided to phase an entire train and all the people on it.
Yeah, it was a pretty boss move. It was pretty boss.
What a day for those people.
Yeah. That's an exciting day.
I got phased through wreckage.
A lot of them should have been vomiting.
Vomiting, I think just dead. I think if you don't have Speed Force, that kills you.
I think it should. It vibrates you pretty hefty.
It's pretty hefty.
Pretty hefty. But at the same time, Barry can vibrate through a human being and not kill them.
Yeah, because you're not there.
Yeah.
But if you become not there, I think your molecules just...
But they're not there. It's a tough one. It is a tough call, and it's hard to determine exactly what the answer is. I'll definitely admit that. Mm-hmm. You for sure...
I'm not a scientist.
Are not a scientist.
I cannot act like Jesse L. Martin, and I am not a scientist.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of going on for me.
And for some other items in the chat as well, like Foamsby asking if Dave Foamsby asking if Wally was faster than Barry, if Barry didn't phase through. And I think Wally would be faster than Barry.
I mean, he was faster than him on the second landmark.
Yeah, he was winning that race. Yeah.
It seems like Barry did just cheat.
I don't know if it's cheating when it's a race involving tapping into the Speed Force and superpowers. I think everything's fair game at that point.
I don't know if it's a race to determine if Wally's gained more speed yet. It seems dumb to do it.
I mean,
if it's just like we need to figure out how fast you are now.
I mean,
maybe don't take a shortcut.
It's a form of speed. These aren't like Olympic regulations. You know, like this is a street race. Everything's fair game.
He still didn't go the same distance as Wally.
He used to be a drag racer, and it's fair game in a street race. You know what I mean?
Well,
things get real out there in the streets.
I don't like cheaters.
Fair enough. So let's talk about other things you don't like. Let's get into it. Let's talk about cons.
What a great segue.
Thank you. So cons for tonight's episode, Diana. What didn't you like?
I didn't enjoy a lot of it.
There we go. There you have it, everybody. Take care of yourselves.
I thought Clive Yorkin was a little boring.
Okay.
I know he doesn't have a nickname in the comics, but like, give him one.
They should give him one.
Dust comes to mind. Ash.
Anything. Some kind of a play off of like a Medusa / like an opposite of a Midas touch.
Medusa Man.
Or Medusa Man. Sure. Or yeah, something along those lines. I don't know what.
You don't have to be that much of a
I'm not
slave
Cisco.
to the comics. Give him a name.
Give him a name. Well,
give him something cool to wear. Why is he just wearing like an everyday jacket?
And it betrays the idea of the fact that they keep bringing up in the show, Cisco's like, we always name them.
Always.
So I'm like, I get he doesn't have a name in the comics, and that kind of fun, we always name them thing is how you've decided to name them their comic names. But come up with a new comic book name for this guy. It's weird when it doesn't follow the rhythm of 3 years of a show. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do much. You just have to come up with a single name to continue the pattern of 3 years.
Yeah, so we don't have to remember the name Clive Yorkin, because that is not sticking in my brain very well.
Yorkin is not hanging with me.
Not the coolest name in the world. And just like, not super, like, understandable motivations, but yeah, he was nothing. He's kind of a nothing villain again. After Gypsy last week, I'm like, who are you?
Yeah, because Gypsy was a phenomenal, like, anti-hero villain as well. This is kind of back to the nothing villain of the week. A little bit more than the nothing villain of the week, because at least it had some kind of a level of grounded with the relationship and history with Flashpoint, with Joe, and a little bit more dialogue than some of the more forgettable villains of the week. But still not a phenomenal villain of the week. I don't know if I'd go so...
Cool powers, though.
Cool powers, yeah. I don't know if I'd go so far as to put him in my con column. Okay. I would have liked a nickname. I'll put that in my con column.
Nickname,
but a somewhat forgettable villain, but mediocre, serviceable, wasn't a big issue for me. I'd say a couple of the bigger cons for me in this episode would be just Danielle Panabaker's performance. Again, this has come up in the past, but pretty wooden, pretty stiff, pretty... not particularly believable. Like when she's Killer Frost on Earth 2 and she's that fun, cheesy, over the top of like, I have a cold, dead heart. I'm like,
the big hair and makeup.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't necessarily act, but the
Harsh.
But the makeup and costuming kind of sells it, and the fact that you can be that cheesy over the top in Earth 2 sells it. But when you're trying to portray the subtlety of a slow descent into madness and villainy, she does not have the strength of performance to bring that. When she's like, but what if I don't heal her good with my freeze thing? I'm freezing her. Oh no, I'm the villain within. What are you doing? What are you doing, Danielle?
In a show where Jesse L. Martin and Candace Patton cried in the scene before, and I felt like there actually might be father and daughter, and then Danielle Panabaker isn't shift in personalities in a Tatiana Maslany kind of style.
Exactly.
I actually didn't even realize she was Killer Frosting on her first line when she was like, well, she's just going to die now. I'm like, why, Caitlin? And she's like, oh, she's Killer Frost. I didn't even notice.
What I loved about that is that I also didn't notice. I didn't notice that this was even a plot line until Barry ran up and she was stiffly acting. And I'm like, yeah, that's Danielle trying her best. And then she looked up and she had the Killer Frost eyes. And I'm like, oh, thank you, editing department. Thank you, post-production, for letting me know that we're supposed to be afraid she's turning into a villain right now, because I was not getting that at all.
Yeah, for someone who's always on the cusp of turning into a supervillain, it's pretty easy to pull her back in.
Yeah. One thing that I do got to throw out just to step back a moment in terms of possible nicknames for Jorgen.
I have it written down.
When we were talking about possible nicknames, Senior Titan threw down Dustin.
Dustin? Like with an apostrophe?
However you want it.
Dustin?
What did he do? I'm just out here Dustin.
What about Dusty?
Dusty? Yeah, you could call him Dusty. Yeah.
Stardust. Oh, he's already a guy.
Yeah, Stardust is already both a wrestler and a character on Arrow. Or no, a drug name on Arrow.
It was
the name of the drug. Yeah. Zachary Smith is just saying death, which is also just death.
No, they gotta save that for a way cooler character.
I guess. I mean, if we're coming up on Black Flashes and stuff like that, there's gonna be some other.
Ash.
Ash ain't bad.
I still like Ash. Just throwing Ash out there.
All right. I'm going with Dustin. Sticking with Dustin.
A Stranger Things character?
Yeah, we're stuck with that. Stick with that with Dustin.
All right.
Yeah. So back to cons. I would say, Danielle's performance in terms of that was a bit of a con for me. One of my other big cons was Iris's poisoning of the virus is working its way up my arm.
Why'd she die so slow?
Why did she die so slow in comparison to all of the other things that have been set up? And two, that was resolved off screen. It came back from commercial break, and Julian just said, we managed to work an antidote. And I'm like, okay, cool. And that's fine.
Were we?
But you can't build that up for your for the last half of the episode, for most of the second act and third act, and then just be like, yeah, we fixed it off screen. No, unacceptable. You can't do. You either need to not set that up as a threat, because if they just remove that threat, this episode is still the same. There's a train full of people. They want to kill some people. Kill Joe.
Still in danger.
Still plenty of problems. So I was not happy with that off-screen solution for Iris's virus.
So much mind off-screen solution. I think they just should have cut her arm off, because you want to change the future. If she's got a robot arm, that's different. She could stab Savitar with it. Have a little gun in there. Bucky Barnes styles it.
Yeah.
That'd be neat. Give her a robot arm, guys.
Yeah.
The fact that you can freeze your arm for a day and it's fine doesn't seem right.
It wasn't right.
I don't know. I know I'm not a scientist. We've established this.
Other cons in the chat room. We have Photo Guy bringing up the fact that maybe don't stand underneath a bridge that you're destroying, which was another problem that Dustin had. And his name's Dustin now. I don't care about.
Where'd my Ash
He's
vote
Dustin.
go?
No, it's you call him whatever you want.
All right, well,
I'm the one saying the sentence. And Dustin shouldn't have stood under the bridge.
I think if Ash can stop bullets that are hitting him, he can just stand under a bridge.
Yeah, but that glass door that he was thrown through in jitters didn't turn to Ash for some reason.
And then the speedsters couldn't catch him after that.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems with Dustin.
Ash is complicated.
That's enough of the problems with Dustin.
Hey, chat room. Everyone vote on Ash versus Dustin.
Anyway, let's move on past Dustin. I think that's enough of the cons for this evening. Let's move on and talk about Easter eggs. All right, so Easter eggs for tonight's episode. Diana, what did you find?
Okay, so Clive Yorkin, as we discussed, doesn't have a comic book name. Despite the Ash or Dustin possibilities in his future. We'll see what happens in the rebirth stories now.
Yeah.
I actually totally understand why they had him try to murder Iris. He actually gets framed for Iris's murder in the original Flash comics.
Oh, okay.
When Iris is killed by Reverse Flash, he's like, Clive Yorkin is like about to kill Iris, and Reverse Flash just like beats him there by half a second, and everyone thinks it was Clive Yorkin for like 8 issues. I think.
Okay.
He's like much crazier though in the comics. He's like just a total madman.
Right.
Can't be stopped.
Okay.
So he's got a history of trying to or succeeding. Oh no, he didn't succeed. So just trying to kill Iris. So he's the guy who tries to kill her.
He's trying his best.
He's trying his best.
Also, Reverse Flash in the comics, just how petty are you that you're like, nah, technically I did it. Like, just what really?
He likes to not take the blame for things.
I guess.
Or he likes to take the blame for things later and be like, it was me, y'all.
I could have just let him kill him, but instead I got in there real quick, like, nah, technically it was me.
It was me.
No. Very sneaky. It was me. I crept in there.
Mm-hmm. And also we had the second victim of Ash.
Dustin.
Was Julio Mendez, who we met in Flashpoint, but I'm not sure if we mentioned this in the original Flashpoint episode. He's actually from the Flash 90s show, playing the same character. The 90s show with John Wesley Shipp.
Was Julio the name of the character?
Same character.
Oh, that I didn't know. I knew it was the same actor, just coming back doing a cameo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the 90s show, he was John Wesley Shipp's lab partner.
Yeah, he was the Cisco of the 90s show.
I did not realize it was the same character name.
Yeah, it's kind of like how the other girl plays Christine McGee. She plays the same named character. So the two people they brought back from Flash got to play their same character.
Play the same people.
And John Wesley Shipp kind of did, because he's the Flash on Earth 3.
Yeah.
So, there's that. That's about it for my Easter eggs.
Okay, fair enough. One thing that I like, in the Ash and Dustin debate, we have Fonzie the Capybara saying, combine them both, Ash Dustin.
Ash Dustin. Well, Dustin could be the first name.
Who are you, sir? I'm Ash Dustin.
I think Dustin would be the first name. Dustin Ash.
You think Dustin would be the first name?
Well, it's a first name.
Okay.
I mean, Ash is a first name too, I guess. Evil Dead stuff.
Yeah. Ash is also a first name.
Our producer is nodding,
you can go
I guess he's Ash
Dustin. Ash Dustin. I like Ash Dustin. The recommendation was Ash Dustin, the Dustin Man, and I think he should.
Oh, that's it.
I'm Ash Dustin, the Dustin Man. He should be wearing a duster, obviously, if you're going to give him any particular jacket.
I think he was. It was quite long. Or it was more like just like a long.
I feel like you're filling in our own headcanon for Ash Dustin, the Dustin Man wearing a duster.
All right,
at this
so
point.
This is our new comic book.
This is our new headcanon.
I mean, I know last week we wrote Death Wish. This week we're going to have Ash Dustin, the Dustin Man. We got a lot of comic books to write. We're gonna be busy.
Yeah, and Dustin with a dust apostrophe in.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So that's how it's gonna be done.
I'm glad we've established the apostrophe. I love the apostrophe.
The apostrophe really adds a lot to it. Yeah, Ash Dustin, the Dustin Man wearing a duster. Phenomenal. So I think before we leave tonight's episode, then. I guess we will leave tonight's episode before we leave tonight's episode of Fan v Fan, let's talk a little bit about that ending and what we're going to be expecting now next week, because Gorilla Grodd. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I love Earth 2.
So good.
I love Earth 2.
And Jesse,
we're going to get to find out if Flashpoint affected Earth 2 like we questioned.
I'm very confident it didn't, but we'll know for sure.
Maybe, because it would have changed Jesse and Wells' story, though, remember?
Right.
As we discussed?
Yes, yes. Now, I do have a question, though, because your memory is slightly better than mine. The costume that Jessie was wearing when she came through, was that the same costume that she left with?
It looked very similar, but the reds and black looked darker.
It seemed a little...
The red looked a little nicer, I thought.
It seemed a little crisper and redesigned, but I couldn't put my finger on what it was. If any of you out there, let us know in the comments if you know what the difference was exactly.
Is that going to be like an awkward conversation with Cisco? She's like, oh yeah, I changed it.
Right. Cisco's like, but I made you that sweet outfit. She was like, not my colors. But yeah, it looked a little crisper and sharper, and I couldn't put my finger on what the difference was. I like the red-black outlines better in this version. Yeah. I feel like the colors were just a little bit different. But yes, love seeing Jessie. It's going to be great to see the other Harrison Wells again. Yeah. We'll get to see the second Harrison Wells. Jessie was kidnapped the whole season she was in. Oh yeah, a little bit of role reversal for the Welleses. For the Welleses Quickses. The Quickses Welleses. The Welleses Quickses. And yeah, Grodd. Yeah, we're going to return with... And there's a whole gorilla city. Yeah, that's going to be... Now, Okay, so here's going to be my thing for Gorilla City. I know how they do it in the comics, but the question is how they're going to do it on the show. We're talking about one super intelligent gorilla, Grodd, running a city of traditional gorillas, or do we think there's going to be some kind of game-changing non-comic book thing here where like the whole city is going to be all super intelligent?
I'm going to lay money on smart Grodd.
Okay.
Dumb gorillas, but headgear that lets Grodd control them.
Okay.
That's my money.
I can be with you on that one.
And we probably should have watched the trailer before we discussed it.
That's fair.
Next week.
No, I like not having watched the trailer. I like not having.
Yeah,
now, when they did show the episode where we did originally lose Grodd, and they cut to at the end of that episode, like Gorilla City was already built, like shrines and stuff.
It was.
So that might lead me to believe. You sure?
I think it was a different Earth.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and check, but I do not believe it was Earth 2.
Ooh, so you're thinking this isn't the Grodd we've already met?
No, this is the new Grodd.
Oh, I was thinking that this is the Grodd we've already met, and when they sent it to another Earth, it was before they had met people from other Earths, and they sent them to Earth 2. And this is Grodd from Earth 1 on Earth 2, causing Earth 2 problems. But you think Earth 1 Grodd is on some random number, and this is an Earth 2 Grodd. I think he's on a random
number because I thought it was Earth 2's Harrison Wells who sent him somewhere.
Okay.
He wouldn't have sent him to his Earth. He would have been like, no, get away from my Earth.
Okay.
Don't need your smart gorilla butt.
Secret Titan saying that they mentioned intelligent gorillas at some point in season 2, so maybe there will be more.
I'd have to look into the canon a bit more.
Yeah, Zachary Smith is with you on the headgear.
Headgear? Headgear. Yeah. Headgear, dumb gorillas.
Yeah.
That's Grodd's business.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna go for multiple intelligent gorillas.
Multiple intelligent gorillas.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a Rise of the Planet of the Apes scenario right here.
Oh, like they're not as smart as Grodd, but they're still like.
They're definitely not gonna be as smart as Grodd. Yeah.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah. But they'll be learning to talk. They'll be figuring some stuff out.
It'll be a very exciting time. I'm very excited.
I'm very excited to see how it
Grodd,
goes.
and then Music Mice for a little after that.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it gonna be an Earth 2 episode?
I can't wait, because then we get cool Earth 2 Iris.
Well, that's what because if Wells is kidnapped by Grodd...
They gotta go over there.
Yeah. Which I feel like there's so much more to do over there, like other little things to drop in, because we've got a relationship now with like some of the random fun stuff that's going on in Earth 2, so...
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just remembered Captain Cold's the mayor of Earth 2.
Oh, I hope we see the mayor.
Mayor.
Let's visit Mayor Cold.
Oh, Wentworth Miller's on contract for all the shows. Let's see.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Let's see how it plays out.
All right.
Well, I think that's all I have to say about this week's episode and my wild speculation for the intelligent gorillas of next week. Yeah, that's everything for me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you everybody who's taken part of the live chat. We love hearing from you guys. We love interacting with you while the show's going on. So I believe there's no new episode of The Flash next week.
No, but you guys have a happy Valentine's Day.
Enjoy your Valentine's Day. We'll see you back in 2 weeks with
Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah, with a new episode of The Flash. In the meantime, to be sure to get notifications about the live stream for the episodes of Fan v Fan, be sure to subscribe to Dork Shelf below. Subscribe to Dork Shelf.
And you can follow Dork Shelf on Twitter at Dork Shelf for some fun updates there.
Yeah.
And you can follow us at From Superheroes. We love doing that.
Yeah.
And you can have a great night.
Take care of yourself. I'm Andrew Rodney.
I'm Diana McCullum.
Bye.
Kicked him out.